Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we're going to be watching a young Christian evangelist get, I don't want to say arrested, I guess apprehended by the police for supposedly harassing a particular Muslim at Speakers Corner in London in Hyde Park. Now, this is fascinating because there's a lot of additional drama and other information you need to know to understand the context of this and why it's so intriguing for those of us who have been following this. So I will start off with a little bit of backstory. Not long ago, a Muslim channel by the name of BehindVeils, BehindVeils? Is either BehindVeils or BeyondVeils, by a man by the name of Solomon, had released information he had managed to find on a somewhat secretive WhatsApp group known as the Hyde Park Dawah group, which contains 75 members of this WhatsApp group that are all planning on how to handle a very awkward controversy that one of the members has been involved in. This would be Mohammad Hijab. That's right, this same Mohammad Hijab, who has been accused by someone who goes by the name of Aisha of, in effect, trying to pressure her into a misya marriage, that is a really bad marriage for women from an Islamic point of view, where she gives up even more of her rights than she normally would, and in this case, she agrees to be his second wife. She did this, she then realized he only wanted to meet in hotel rooms for sexy time, and she proceeds to want nothing to do with him, to which he then ghosts her, gaslights her, does all this stuff, allegedly. She's then been on the warpath trying to get justice. Many Muslims are trying to cover this up because Mohammad Hijab is a well-respected scholar. There's a lot of air quotes here. Very well-respected scholar, and therefore they don't want to have his reputation tarnished. But Aisha is relentless. She wants justice. Mohammad Hijab did her dirty. He got married to her in a suspicious circumstance over a Zoom call because only the best of marriages happen over Zoom calls. And now she wants justice. But there's been lots of leaks of Mohammad Hijab's conversations, things he's been saying, that paint him in a very negative light, let's say that. So back to the group. In this Hyde Park Dawah WhatsApp group, these 75 members have been trying to come up with the best strategic response to deal with this allegation, this controversy. And this includes many prominent people who go to Speakers Corner and are, in their own right, somewhat infamous celebrities. This includes people like Hashim. It also includes Ali Dawah, Mohammad Hijab himself, Dean Responds, the same guy I've been having a back and forth with. He's involved in this because why not? Dean, I thought you knew better. Hoping you knew better. But either way, we're going to be focusing on Hashim in particular. Now, Hashim has been doing Dawah, that is Islamic evangelization, to random strangers in Speakers Corner for, I think, what's probably coming up to or around 30 years now. So he's been managing to avoid anyone who knows stuff for the last 30 years, which is in and of itself quite impressive. But he has managed to have some conversations in this time, and he still goes there pretty much every week. After this scandal got released by Solomon, the BehindVeils or BeyondVeils guy, people at last Sunday decided to go and confront Hashim and ask him why he was involved in this cover-up and was actively trying to come up with ways of framing Aisha as being unreliable or untrustworthy in order to save his friend Mohammad Hijab, who is in effect a colleague of his. Let's watch the video.
The leaked messages of your WhatsApp group chat, where you said that you should portray the secret wife of Mohammad Hijab, that she's suicidal and has mental health issues. So, Hashim, as a man who preaches such good virtue, I've got a question. Why would you try to have an abused second wife of Mohammad Hijab? Why did you try to portray that as that she's suicidal and that she has mental health issues? Hashim, I now call you a scumbag, because on a leaked WhatsApp group chat with 72 Dahi, you said, and I quote, you should make it on a video that Mohammad Hijab lied about not being about him, that she had suicidal thoughts, she doubted the Quran, and that she had mental health issues such as ADHD and autism. So Hashim, I want to know why your Islamic virtues has taught you to falsely accuse people.
You're not old enough to talk about marriage.
Yes, I actually am, because I am of the age of puberty.
Call your mommy
so
and
Hashim,
daddy.
I believe you're a scumbag. Okay,
That's harassment.
Go for it.
Okay?
Okay. And at the same breath,
chasing me.
and on the same breath, we can also talk to the police
Yeah, go
about.
on.
Go on.
Talk to the
Go on.
Okay.
By the way, harassment is just on one occasion.
You shouldn't be following people.
Okay,
That's against the law.
you shouldn't falsely accuse people of suicidal thoughts when you're talking about abuse.
Whatever.
How would you like it
Go
if
away.
when you were abusing your wife,
Get away.
someone else accused her of having suicidal thoughts? So I want to know why the Muslim Dahi on a secret group chat
chasing.
were
go to the
accusing
police and
an
say you're
abused second marriage
Okay.
of having suicidal thoughts, Hashim.
Come here.
Go on.
Excuse me, guys.
Yes, go on.
This guy's been harassing me. I told him I don't want to talk to you, and he keeps following me
I don't,
with his camera.
so my understanding of the accusation of harassment is me persisting in more than one occasion.
Okay.
I want to know why on a WhatsApp group chat, Hashim himself
Stop
was
harassing.
accusing an abused second marriage. Oh, of course.
Come here with me.
I'm gonna stay here.
Just come here with me.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Well, if he doesn't want to speak to you,
Yeah.
maybe just leave him alone.
No.
That would-
So
why not?
he is a public speaker, and he has on a WhatsApp group chat tried to say that an abused second marriage of Mohammad Hijab, that supposedly she was suicidal and had mental health issues, supposedly justifying why Mohammad Hijab would blackmail the second wife.
You can't force anyone to speak to you.
Of course, I'm not.
Exactly. Let's just be-
You know it's bad when Amy is. Hashim, if you don't want to engage in a discussion and speak. Hashim, if you don't want to have a speak, if you don't want to talk at Speakers Corner, don't come to Speakers Corner.
Don't you say so? No, they can. But when they're following you, that is harassment.
Well, harassment isn't that.
Who's the captain here in charge today?
He's made it very clear. He doesn't want to speak to you.
Of course, but this is Speakers Corner. I can express my opinions.
Yeah, if you stand here, not following him.
Oh, that's not
You
harassment.
usually follow-
Following him is not harassment. Unless you put the female sunglasses away, sir. Do you agree that a Dahi of Islam should falsely accuse someone of having suicidal thoughts?
Who said that?
Hashim on a secret group chat, in trying to hide the scandal of Mohammad Hijab, he said that they should post to the media that she was suicidal, doubting the Quran, and vilify her as a woman with mental health problems. Whilst Hijab was blackmailing his secret wife into continually having sex in a muta
This is
marriage.
free speech. As long as he's not touching you, it's free speech.
Do you believe you should do that to your wife?
I'm just saying, of course you shouldn't.
You shouldn't. Condemn him.
What, beating up your wife?
No, accusing someone's second wife who is being abused by her husband of having suicidal thoughts. Hashim, if you don't want to have a discussion, don't go to Speaker's Corner.
So Hashim did not like this. He did not like the accusations that were being leveled against him, which we have evidence of, and thank you Team Response for explaining to us in your own video that this is indeed actual footage of the WhatsApp group. We really appreciate that. It lets us know that we are using actual evidence of a real conversation, so thank you very much for that. Big thumbs up. How does Hashim choose to navigate this? How does he choose to deal with the fact that there are people coming up to him, and it's not just Bob, who's the name of the young man making these accusations to Hashim in public at Speaker's Corner, but there's others as well also making the same accusation. How does Hashim choose to deal with it? Does he address it? Does he give a defense? Does he explain why there's evidence of him trying to slander a potentially innocent woman who has been taken advantage of by his colleague in a sexual manner? He does probably what I could have told you he'd do. He goes to the police and says it's harassment, which, given the levels of Islamic extremism at Speaker's Corner, the levels of violence that happen just amongst themselves, I'm not even talking yet about the violence that happens outside of Muslims. I'm talking about violence that happens just within the Shia and Sunni Muslims alone at Speaker's Corner, which accounts for probably 70% of every violent accident. Every time it kicks off, it's pretty much just a Shia and Sunni breakdown of communication, and they want to fight each other, which is like the bread and butter of Sunni and Shia relations, apparently. He's aware of that. He knows that happens. He doesn't really do much about it. I've never seen him talk about it, at least not publicly. But as soon as someone doesn't even fight him, they just ask him a question. And it is worth mentioning here that this person, this young man, is 16 years old. So he's not actually an adult yet, although Keir Starmer might think differently. But he's still just a kid. And to go and claim harassment to the police because a 16-year-old is pointing out something that is being blasted all over the internet. Hashim's face and these accusations are everywhere as part of this bigger issue involving Mohammad Hijab. And remember, they're colleagues. They both do Dawah together and they both have relations with each other. Not in that sense. Hashim is refusing to address it and just hoping to cover it up by just claiming anyone who talks to him about it is harassing him. So much for big, strong Dawah. It turns out it collapses basically because of themselves. It's not even the fault of their own Dawah. It's just the fact that they themselves constantly find themselves in these accusations and constantly seem to not have any answers. And worse yet, they just dig their own holes by accidentally affirming the evidence is real. These really are actual quotes and screenshots of an actual WhatsApp group with actual messages. And of course, this does also mean there is a spy in the Hyde Park Dawah group. Someone who's been in there for a long time, who's been leaking information to others privately so that particularly the Christians can get the upper hand over the Dawah guys at Speakers Corner and the things that they're doing, so that any plans they have can be navigated beforehand to ensure that the Christians have the best scenario to work with every Sunday by pretending to be someone else who they aren't actually. Someone who joined with a fake Muslim name, who doesn't really speak very much, but convinced enough people that they were someone else who they actually aren't. Anyway, now what I find quite shocking is how quickly the police decide that they need to separate this young man away from Hashim, which is weird given Hashim is someone who's a lot older than this young man. And this young man, as far as I can tell, he's basically alone. It's just him saying this. Maybe there's others around him saying it as well. I can't tell in the video. It seems to be predominantly just him. But the police decide, no, we're going to take you away. And they seem to have this sudden recollection of something, which I find somewhat weird. But they're talking to this young man, this young gentleman, and then one of them just says, oh, hang on a second, isn't this the guy that, and then brings up this other thing, and then uses it as an excuse to drag him away from the crowd and away from Hashim. Let's watch that.
It
can lead to that.
And
if it does, no, it doesn't, because harassment.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you.
Okay, you can tell me something that isn't true, because I've looked at the law to harassment, and when the Muslims have accused me of this, I've had other officers on camera say what I am doing is currently not harassment.
Okay. Isn't that gentleman involved in the racially aggravated earlier on?
Wait,
bring the gentleman with us. Let's go. Let's go.
Doing what?
Let's go. I will explain everything to you later.
What?
Let's go.
What am I done for, sir?
So, earlier on,
yep.
You were identified
Yep.
as a male who made a racial comment towards a member of public.
A racial comment?
Yes.
Saying what?
Right. If you stand over there,
Yep.
do you have any proof of ID on you?
No, because
Okay.
I'm underage.
How old are you?
16.
16. Give your details to my colleague, please.
Yep.
And then we gonna try to establish your ID and your where you live. Okay. And then you might be invited in.
Yep.
For a caution +3 if the victim was to substitute the offence.
Okay. Saying what? What am I accused of?
My colleague will explain everything.
Okay.
To you.
Make sure you blur out my name, yeah? Because I'm gonna have to give it out.
If you want to give your name out, go over there.
Yeah.
People can hear you.
So what exactly am I accused of?
Let me take your details first.
Yep.
So what's your first name?
So suddenly the police remember there's a racially aggravated incident related to this young man and decide to use that as a reason to pull him away from the crowd. I find that to be impeccable timing by the police officer, that he just had this amazing recollection right then and there. Also, it seems, maybe I'm wrong here, but it seems as if the police officer didn't actually even know his name. His name's Bob. The guy calls him Young Gentleman, so did he not know his name? It's a bit interesting. Is he just doing this purely by recollection? I happen to all of a sudden remember who you are, and it turns out you were involved in a racially aggravated incident, so now I'm going to take you over here. They don't do anything with this racially aggravated incident, by the way, which again makes me feel very suspicious that this was anything. Supposedly someone made some accusation that he made a racist remark, but to be honest with you, anyone can make an accusation of anything, so... And then it somewhat turns into him calling someone gay, which apparently he perceived as homophobic. It's really weird, and to be honest with you, it seems like all of nothing, and just an excuse to get Bob away from Hashim, because it just makes the police lives easier as opposed to just standing by and making sure Bob doesn't do anything illegal, which he wasn't doing anyway.
So what is the accusation I'm accused of?
So if my colleague hasn't told you, do you remember the confrontation you had earlier on, just down there? With
But what was the comment I said that was supposed
Allow
to
me
be
to
racial?
speak, please.
Yes.
So you remember that guy you had an argument with? He made the accusation, and emphasize the point, it's just an accusation, that you called him gay,
Okay.
which is homophobic.
How is accusing someone of being homosexual homophobic?
That's how he perceived it.
Okay.
Okay? So just accusation at the moment.
So let me get this right. Without you engaging the intention, supposedly calling someone gay is apparently a racial comment. You said it was racial. How is someone's sexuality a racial comment?
But it
Oh,
should
sorry, I'm
be
trying
the
to
other
find-
way around. If
beg
you
your pardon?
accuse him of being gay and he considers that an insult, isn't that considering it an insult homophobic?
No.
That is because
I love what the Christian cameraman next to Bob says here. He says, hang on a second. If it's all to do with perception when someone makes a claim that some accusation is Islamophobic or homophobic, doesn't the fact that if you call someone homosexual or gay and someone takes that negatively, isn't that in and of itself, that perceivedness, isn't that homophobic? Because they think it's negative, they think it's an insult, rather than just a factual claim. I think that's a really good point. And do the police do anything with that? Do they think? No, they're not paid to do that.
So if someone...
Well, it's someone else's perception against mine, right? This is why when we look at a crime, we
That's
look
why
at the facts,
the
not the
allegation
feelings.
and with your investigation, okay? If you got the gentleman details, it's free to go. Thank you.
Free speech, baby, we love it! Apparently, saying someone is gay is a racial comment. That is the accusation. And he wants, for me, he said it's how the person feels. Yeah. The person who said that he would kill me, the person saying that I would be killed, he wants to say that calling him gay is hate speech. Not accusing me, not threatening him to kill me, but in response, me calling him gay is somehow a racial comment.
it's homophobic.
No, he said it was racial.
It's racial. To
Yeah.
call him gay is racial. Like, gay
Yeah.
is a race.
Yes. So I've had to give my details. I've had to give my... So in response to a death threat, I said to his other gentleman, who seemed like a close partner of his boyfriend wants to leave. And now in response to that, it's been reported as a racial comment, and I could come in for questioning in regards to hate speech law.
So in this next bit, Bob actually remembers, he thinks he knows who may have made this allegation to the police. And he thinks it's the same person that actually made a death threat to him. And then he's starting to think, hang on a second, wait. If it's the same guy, and he's made an allegation to the police that I've been Islamophobic or homophobic or whatever it is, then I'm just going to go to the police and say, oh, hang on a second, if it's the same guy, that guy made a death threat to me.
Yeah, he said to Bob, Ish, and myself that I should wait outside the park. He would beat me up and kill me. And in response to that, I said that to his partner, who quite close to him, touching him, that his boyfriend is telling him to leave because he was getting quite close.
Police not questioning the person.
Have you told them that?
Yeah. Officers, you are officers. You are aware that this gentleman sent me a death threat and also threatened to hurt me outside the park. So can I make an accusation of
The same gentleman?
the same gentleman? Yes.
Is that allowed?
We got the gentleman's details.
Yes. Can I make a counter accusation of
We will
you can bin that if you want.
Counter-connect,
Yeah.
and then we will send the crime reference number to your dad
Okay.
as recorded.
Yep.
Okay?
Beautiful. So, do you want me to outline what happened? Okay. So, another speaker called Ish was speaking, and the gentleman in question tapped my soldier and said, "You should."
Which one?
The gentleman making the report.
The one with the beard?
Yes. He pointed to me and said, "You should watch out. I'm not like these other Muslims here. I will hurt and kill you." And then said, "I definitely will."
One second.
Yep. Oh.
Anyone else heard it? We can get the statement.
It would be, yeah, potentially.
On your video?
I can look through the footage of the discussion that was in question. Wait, Fred, you had the recording of him threatening me, no? Okay, we'll look through it later.
So, maybe when you go through the footage,
Yep.
If you can find it, your dad will receive the correct reference number.
Yep.
Okay. If your dad or yourself call 101,
Yep.
give the crime reference number.
Yep.
The officer in charge will get in touch with you. They send you a link.
Yep.
You can upload the link.
Now, I have to be honest with you. I find this to be nothing more than just bread and circuses. It's just a show by public officials to kind of just hand wave this, because I think they're probably just like, we don't really care about any of this. It just seems beneath us. So you make a claim of a death threat. We're just gonna take note of this, you know, find some place in the bin to put it in later. And that's it. That's as far as this is gonna go. And when they say things like, we'll give you a link to follow up on it, it's like, ooh, you've given me a link, you know, and now I know you're taking things seriously. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if absolutely nothing comes from that whatsoever. I mean, keep in note, I don't think anything would have come from the racial homophobic claim either, which is a bit of a weird thing. I'm not sure how it's racial and homophobic, but okay. I don't think anything would have ever come from that. It's just the fact that they used the allegation because it was useful in making the police officer's job a little bit easier at the time. And it was a good way of getting Bob away from Hashim, and that just makes everyone's life easier, and the police don't have to work as hard as they otherwise would. And I think that's just it. I think there's nothing more to be said. I'll be very surprised if we hear anything more about this death threat. I don't even think the police are even mildly interested in talking to the person who apparently made it. But hey ho, I would love to be proven wrong though, but we'll see. Anyway, I wanted to show this video because it's interesting how Hashim is dealing with this. He's running from the issue itself. He's claiming harassment by a 16-year-old, which is hilarious. The Dawah scene at Speakers Corner and elsewhere is in shambles because there are so many allegations on everybody, and they all seem to be involved in trying to help each other cover up each other's sins. Whether that's women they probably shouldn't have married as second wives and slept with and then basically thrown away, adulterous relationships, trying to scam people of money. All these allegations that are happening in the Dawah scene at the moment reflects very poorly on them. But let's continue hoping that people like Salman and others continue to expose this, because it's pretty disgusting. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you all, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.